Good evening. So, another night of no in person class. I'm sorry about that. I have UIL 1 Act play that I am helping with, and we have a clinic on Tuesday, and I won't be back until after class starts. So, we decided to go ahead and do a video of what I would have talked about. And I'm going to go ahead and start with looking at the content section in our Blackboard. And I'm going to start back up at the citation and thesis module. And the reason I'm doing this is to show you what was in there again that's going to help you with getting started with our argumentative essay. So back up in the citation and thesis module, if you open that up, you can come down and see how to reference in an essay, citing and quoting evidence in video. You have in-text citations in MLA format. We have a link and information on writing a thesis statement. And then again, those sentence frames and sentence stems, the links there that give you some ways to help you out with some in-text citations when you're doing your writing in your essay. So each of these are links. They are meant to be references for you, resources for you. I would suggest that you spend some time watching these or looking at them if they're a video, or reading through them if they are a text section. So like this writing a thesis, this one should be information on writing a thesis if it opens for me. So I'm gonna close this pop-up out. What is a thesis statement? And you should have seen these things as well in your text from previous readings. But if you need to review what those are, then you can go through and read through this. It's just another resource for you to look at. All right, so coming out of that module, going to the next section in that argumentative writing module, which is what we just finished. It was the prep to get ready for writing your argumentative essay, which you're starting this week, and it's due next week for your first draft of that. We went through some of those things. You had your lesson on argumentative writing. You had your example of the writing for success in that little essay there, which I saw some great work when you were doing your outline and your graphic, if this is it. Yeah, when you did this graphic organizer with argument, this information right here is what you use to fill out that article that you read here, and you'll be using that again as your prep for the essay that you're getting into. And then you had this with your article summaries. Most of you have taken care of that, and these are the articles, the same articles right here in that link from the discussion. These are the same articles that you're going to use for your evidence for your essay. Most of you have done, a good amount of you have done your the summary on these, and you did your discussion boards. If you haven't done that discussion board or replied, you need to go ahead and make sure you get that taken care of. All right, so these articles here are what you'll be using for your essay. So remember to be able to come back here and get those. Now, this week's module that's going to go into your essay is going to be this one here, argumentative essay. It's the only thing that's left in our module so far. So when I open this up, I've got some things in here for you to see. I have uploaded an outline example and an argumentative essay example. This is the assignment itself right here. I'm going to go ahead and move that up. So that's the first thing there. So there's your essay. I'll go through that with you in just a second. How to set it up. An outline and graphic organizer for your essay. You're going to make a copy. This is the same outline and graphic organizer that you used before. This is meant to help you to write your essay. And then this is a video on using that citation tool to help you create your citations in Google Docs. You will be using Google Docs for this essay. That is so that I can give immediate feedback while you're writing. When you get into it, I can give the feedback on the side and help you get through that process of writing this essay. And then the edits are completed easier when we're using a Google Doc. So you'll be using a Google Doc for this essay. All right, so let's go back to the top of this module and look through here. So this is the assignment. This is the essay that you'll be working on. So for this assignment, you're going to examine how artificial intelligence, AI, can impact academic integrity in higher education, either positively or negatively. Start by researching various perspectives on AI's roles. Most of you have already come up with your opinion on whether you are for use of AI in academics or against it. Remember, you can't be both. You have to choose one or the other. And then consider how AI tools can either support honest academic work or facilitate academic dishonesty. You're going to write a 750 to 1,200 word essay. It's going to be more than likely closer to 1,000 words if you're getting everything in there that you need. It can be no fewer than 3 pages. And that does not include your works cited page. That's 3 pages of straight information. In that essay, you will state your claim. You will use evidence to support your argument. You will discuss academic integrity and the use in academics. You need to incorporate 3 sources to back up your analysis. Now we have 4 and use MLA format. And you can use PurdueL. If you need to go back and look at that, we have multiple resources that are listed there for your MLA format. And then we'll also use that Google Docs citation tool to help us with making sure that we get our works cited page covered using MLA format. Let me just state, if your paper does not have MLA format, and that includes 12-point font in Times New Roman, or I'll accept Arial, it must include your citations and your document setup. It must include your heading, your name and page number at the top. These are all things that I have commented before. And then this says double spaced. The essay must be double spaced. And that can also be formatted in your Google Doc. Your paper must be written in third person. Do not say I believe. Do not say I think. Do not say my opinion or any of those things. Also, I'm going to go ahead and add this here. I'm going to edit this and add it. You must use formal language. So let's go back and add that. Use formal writing language. So what I mean by that is that there should not be any contractions or informal casual writing. Your first draft is due on March 2nd, and that is so that we can do revisions and have those taken care of before finals week. All right, so the 3 sources, again, come from those that were in the discussion from last week. They're the 3 articles that you've already taken notes on and put your quotations that you probably wanted to use. Your submission should demonstrate your critical thinking about how AI affects student work, and you should have provoke thought on the future of academic practices. All right, so that is your assignment. Now, with that in mind, I uploaded an example of an essay, and I uploaded an example of an outline. So for this example, I used the use of calculators, as if it had been argued whether calculators should be used or not used in schools. So here's an example of that outline. Let me get this to come up. All right, so I did use AI to write this. Yes, I know. Isn't that funny that I used AI to write something on an article about using AI? Okay, these sources have not been verified, and the content of this example is not to be taken as fact. It is merely an example of an outline. All right, so at the top, your MLA, you're going to have your heading. You're going to write your full name, your instructor's name, your course title, and the date. Do not include that. Do not include this part. Do not include this part right here. You're not going to put your name, colon, and then write your name out. Don't put instructor's name, colon, and then write the instructor's name out. you're going to just put your name, instructor's name, course title, date. All right. Do not write the word introduction. This is just actually an outline. So in my introduction, I wrote it out. This is what the introduction of that article, or excuse me, of that essay would have. Then here's my thesis. This also would be what you would put if you were writing in that graphic organizer. So we have a quick introduction there, and then our thesis. Calculators do not hinder mathematical growth. Rather, they support students in focusing on complex problem solving, point 1, building conceptual thinking, point 2, and preparing for future academic and professional demands, point 3. Okay, this is the first paragraph. Your introduction and your thesis, my first paragraph. Second paragraph. I'm going to take the first thing that it talked about, which was calculators focus on complex problem solving. Calculators enhance students' capacity to work with higher order mathematical concepts by reducing the cognitive burden, blah, 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 with repetitive computations. Basically, complex problem solving. And then here's my point to support that. Research and a quote with my citation to support that. And then kind of this supporting sentence or elaboration sentence, wrap-up sentence of that paragraph. That's paragraph 2. Then here's the outline continuing. Here's paragraph 3. This is point number 2 with my statement supporting it, my research citation, and a wrap-up sentence. Paragraph 4. That's my third point. Counter argument is in paragraph 5 with a rebuttal. Your counter argument will include some kind of paraphrase or quotation from a source. And then you will have your conclusion. And with your conclusion, you start your conclusion with your thesis statement. So I'm going to take that same thesis statement that I had at the beginning that I ended my introduction with, and I'm going to start my conclusion with that thesis statement. Then give me a little bit of information that kind of wraps up paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, and paragraph 4 to make my conclusion. Kind of like a quick summary of each of those paragraphs in that conclusion. And that's an outline. That's the outline of the paper. This could help you organize things, get that outline done first, and then you can pull all those things and put them together in your paper. So let's go see what the paper then looks like. Okay, that's the same thing. Content. See if I make it go back. Trying to figure out how to close this up and go to the next thing here. Forgive me. There it is. It's at the bottom. Okay, and here's the paper. So it should download here. And again, you're going to have your heading at the top, a title. You don't write the word title. That part's not there. This part right here is not there. You don't put title. You just put your title. And actually, this one I spaced incorrectly. So there should not be but one space, one double-spaced space between the heading and my title. Something else that's missing is the last name. So I should have my last name and a page number here. This heading here is on the content of the page. This name and page number is up in the header. So you want to make sure that you have that in the header. Okay. All right. Down into my paper then, I have my introduction. And then here is my thesis. Don't label it as thesis. I'll figure it out. But your thesis will have your point, which is your claim. Rather than hindering mathematical growth, calculators enable students to, so they allow students to be able to do something, to focus on complex problem solving, to reinforce understanding, and to prepare for the future. Your thesis needs to have 3 points also. I have a transition word. Why does it keep doing that? Okay, I have a transition word. And then we go into my first point that I want to make should be matching the first point in my thesis. The first thing that I mentioned here should be the first paragraph that I write. I have my full paragraph, my statement of point that I'm making, backed up by research, and then wrap it up like this suggests, this proves, this shows, this exemplifies, the evidence elaborates, something of that nature. Then my second body paragraph or my third full paragraph, again, should match the second thing in my thesis, the second point in my thesis. It should have my evidence and a wrap up. And it keeps going until I get to my conclusion. So as you can see, this one is 1, 2, 3 pages of text, and then a works cited page. Excuse the double works cited. There should only be one. So these are the 2 articles that were used. Actually, these are the articles that were used. This was me showing how to use the works cited tool that's in the other. So I apologize for that part. All right, so now I'm going to go back. So those are 2 examples for you to see there. And that's under example, outline, MLA argument. These are here so you can kind of use them as a formula. It's not the same content. Obviously, it's a calculator content, but it's kind of the same concept. All right, so argumentative essay setup information. So this is how your essay should be set up. It's going to start with your introduction. I'm kind of being redundant here, but I want to make sure that we get it. Your essay should start up with your introduction. This is your setup of the information. Makes whether AI is good or not good for academics. Is it beneficial or harmful? Make this, you can have an anecdote or a situation that you want to introduce as part of your argument. Should be about 3 to 5 sentences, and the last sentence is your thesis or your claim. So if you're not sure how to do thesis, here are a couple ideas on how to start a thesis. You could start with your counter, although scientists believe that AI is the death of the American child. I don't know, making up stuff. Death of American education. AI is beneficial because, so that's my concession. This is my claim. It's beneficial because reason 1, whatever that is, reason 2, whatever that is, and reason 3. Here's an example of doing is this. This right here is totally not anything to do with AI. It's just an example of using that essay. Although the Hunger movie fails to accurately portray Katniss as Peeta's relationship, the movie is true to the book because reason 1 depicts Katniss's character, reason 2 does not glorify the violence, reason 3 focuses on the themes. Okay, their claim is it's true to the book. The concession is like it goes with that. They see the other side of the argument. This is one way to write a thesis statement in an argumentative essay. This is more of a general type of essay, and it can be used, or a general thesis, and this can also be used in this essay. You can say AI is beneficial because, put your first reason, your second reason, and your third reason. AI is not beneficial. AI is harmful to education because this, this, and this. In your thesis, even though I keep saying AI, you're going to put artificial intelligence. Okay? Spell that out. And here's an example of that being used. Smartphones have revolutionized communication because, notice the because. Reason 1, they increase the number of ways to communicate. Reason 2, they allow people to communicate instantly. And reason 3, just like we have here. So you can use these 2 formats to help write your thesis. Your second paragraph after your introduction and your thesis should focus on your first reason to support your first reason and support for your claim. Has 1 piece of evidence. Evidence should come from the articles that we've already read, and then it should be paraphrased, quoted with proper citation in MLA format. And then some other sentences that should be in there maybe are describing and wrapping up and connecting to that quote and to your point that you're trying to make. It's more of an elaboration and more explanation. And then you'll follow that format for your second paragraph, your it would be your third paragraph, your fourth paragraph. After you've done your 3 reasons with your 3 supports for your claim, then you're going to have your counterclaim and your rebuttal. They'll be in a paragraph by themselves. You need to have evidence for those as well. And then your final is your conclusion, and your final conclusion paragraph should start with your thesis. And you follow this with your explanation of your points that you made, and you wrap it up. You can also include a call to action, which is like people need to be more informed on how AI is being used in schools, or however you want to formulate that. After it's all finished, you're going to put in a page break and put your works cited page in. And that video on using the works cited tool shows how to insert a works cited page as well. Okay, so this is just a document there on setting up your essay. This is another link to that organizer that you can use. You can write your introduction in here. You can write your thesis. You can put your reasons in. You can put your quotes in. You can write your elaboration. You can do that all 3 times. And then what you'll do is this will be your first paragraph. This will be your introduction paragraph. This is your first reason paragraph, second reason paragraph, third reason paragraph, counterclaim rebuttal paragraph, call to action and conclusion paragraph. This is the same thing as that, but in outline format. Those of us that are old school, we probably remember doing outlines, and so I've laid this out here so that you can just fill this in. These are meant to help you. If I read your essay and it's not following this kind of formula and you did not do this, I may have you go back and make sure that you've got that done before you do your revisions. Okay. So now we're in the citation tool video. So that's what this video is here. And it goes through how to, and I'm not going to play it. It needs to stop playing. Stop. Okay. It's going to go through how to do the citations. All right, so if I were to do that with this paper here, so let's say, I'm going to make a copy just so I can write all over this. Okay, so this is for my purposes just to show you here. Okay, you don't have a copy of this, or of this one. So I would go up here, and if I'm going to be adding my header to make sure that I've got this proper, I want to go all the way over to the side, put my name in, and I want to add page numbers. Let's see, I always have to look for it. I'm like, where's my page numbers? Okay, so page numbers under format, page number. I want it in my header. It's going to start at 1, shows on the first page, apply. All right, there we go. That's my page number. This is below, notice, okay, so this shows header, that's above the header. This information is below the header. Okay, then I'm going to start my essay after I've got my full heading. So say M. Llewellyn, put my name in. My professor is Miss Llewellyn. My course title is Comp 1, or you could put Ing 1301, and then you're going to put your date in, and your date is going to be something like, okay. I don't know why I have those bolded. They shouldn't have to be bolded. All right. And then I have my title. After my title, I start my article, or I start my paper. As I'm going through and I'm writing all my stuff, I've got it all in there. Then I want to add my sources, or maybe I want to add all my sources at the beginning and just get that done. I'm going to go over to tools. Is that right? No. Where is it? It should be under tools. There it is. Yeah, it's under tools. I was right the first time. Okay, under tools, citations. This is what that video is going to show you, but she's better at it, I'm sure. So over here in the citations tool, we're going to be doing MLA. It should be actually 9th edition. Not sure what's going on with that, but okay. So MLA, I want to add a source. And let's say that I had, let's see, where's one of those articles? It was the discussion. Where is it? Discussion. Okay, I gotta go find it. All right, so I'll say AI in schools. This one's a web page, right? So I found the web page, and I'm using this for one of my quotes. I'm using this as one of my resources. And I'm saying that came from AI in schools. I can actually take this link here, and I can do Control C, or I can do right click, copy, and I found it's actually from a website. Actually, it's from a website. I can search the URL. I'm going to paste it in there and hit search. So it didn't have it there. Let's see if I can find it. It's let's see, journal article, maybe. Where is it again? Tools, citations. This one right here is fine. Let's see. Add a citation source. Journal article. That one there. Control C. I'm going to try it. We're going to try it one more time. Accessed by a website. Where's the URL thing? There it is. I should be able to put it in there. I should find it. It's not letting me do it. I don't know why it's letting me do it. Okay, it should do it. The video showed you in that as well. All right, so if my author is Sumaila Her, I'm going to write all that information in there. Sumaya. I can't remember what it was. I'm going to put the title of the article, so on and so forth. After I'm finished with it, I'm going to hit add citation source. Once I add that citation source in there, it's going to come up like this. All right, so there's one of them. Here's one of the sites. Or one of the articles. Here's one of the articles. And then when I'm ready to add it, let's say that this was one of the quotes from there, and I want to cite that, I'm going to click on my resource, and I'm going to hit the word cite, and it's going to show up, and there is no page number, so I'm going to take off the page number. It's going to show up right after where I wanted it. Now, I need to take the period off of that sentence and put the period after the citation. The period should go after a quote, after the citation. Okay, after the quote, there's not the period here. Put the citation, and then put the period. That citation tool. For those of you having a hard time with double spacing in Google Docs, this right here, notice where my mouse is. This here is spacing. You're going to come down to double. You can highlight your whole document and then click double, and it will double space your whole document. You don't need extra spaces between your paragraphs. That's a formatting thing. All right. So that's some of the things that we have going on over here. That's that citation tool, and that is your argumentative essay. All right, so this week you'll be working on this argumentative essay. I'll be back in class on Thursday, and I think the best thing to do would be for you to have all of at least your, make sure you've got your quotes together. You have that where you did your summaries. Many of you have already done it, so you have those together. And then possibly either your graphic organizer or outline filled out so that you can make sure that you have everything you need. If you have a draft of the essay done, then I can pull that up and we can look at that as well. I can answer questions then about this. You don't want to wait until Thursday to start writing. You want to go ahead and get some things in there. We can check your thesis. You can do, I have a thesis tool that I can upload. I was looking for it. I don't think I have it up here. I don't think I have it up there, but it's the same thing as the help that I already have on your content page. This information setup that has that thesis section. So you could use this. You can have your thesis checked. You can even send me an email that says, can you check my thesis, and send me what it is. Anything between now and then. I just won't be able to look at my phone until probably after 5:30 tomorrow. So between 2 and 5:30, I won't be available at all, due to the competition, or not competition, but the clinic that we're going to. All right. So let's see. I think that's everything there. You don't have an ed puzzle this week. The video that I have that it's uploaded is not an ed puzzle type of video. It's just a watch. And I think I might add one more video for your resource. And that one is a structuring your, it's this person. That's a great place for her. Structuring an argument. And this one's pretty good too. But you have so many other resources up there, you may not need it at all. All right. So what the schedule is going to look like, what we've got going on here, I'll pull the calendar up. Let's look at the month. We are down here. So we had all these things due yesterday. Should have those already turned in. This is class tomorrow that you're watching right now, or class on Tuesday that you're watching right now. We will meet on Thursday. We'll go through paper things to make sure that we are caught up and ready to do with that. And then we have March. Paper due here. And I'm actually going to move this over. I don't know if it'll let me move it over, but I changed the due date on that one. So I will change the date on this calendar, but it should be here on Monday, kind of give you one extra day there. We'll be in class on Tuesday. I will not be on class on Tuesday. Y'all are going to meet with Michael. He's going to come in and do library resources. So there might even be a way that he's able to help with some resources that they might have there for your essay. But since it's here, I will give you your feedback. I'll read those. I'll get you some feedback. We have the competition here. So this is UIL in Stanton and UIL in Stanton. And so we're taking some kids from Lamesa High School to go compete in that. And then here's Thursday. And we'll make sure that we have all of those revisions in, and then your final is here. Any paper that you want to revise needs to be turned in here. Any of those that you maybe have scored lower than you wanted to, you can revise those here. And then remember, we'll have our final here. And if you are passing with an A, you do not have to take a final. Okay? There will be something for you to fill out, and it will be a self-evaluation, but that might be something that you're able to do online and not come to class that night. So I will let you know more about that on Thursday. All right. Email me your questions. And I will answer those as I can get to them tomorrow. You do not have to come to class on Tuesday. You just watch this video and get that taken care of. All right. So I hope that this explains the essay and what you need. If not, like I said, let's chat. If you need more than an email, then we need to like talk or talk through something, then let's make an appointment to do that. And we can talk about that through email and then figure out how to meet either via Zoom, Google, or just chat. Or maybe I'll be able to answer those questions on Thursday. All right. So y'all have a good, this is 10:30 on Monday. About to upload this, and y'all have a great Tuesday, and I'll see you Thursday.